Important alert. A woman has made a final payment against you to a person who is going to take your. Archangel Michael says, the last coin has fallen into a silent palm tonight, and a deal sealed in whispers is now turning toward your door. A woman who has smiled at you in daylight has completed her secret promise in the dark. The one she paid is already moving, carrying a script designed to remove you from the life you built. This movement began quietly weeks ago, but tonight it is final. The hired hand believes they will walk in and take your comfort, your dignity, and your claim to what is rightfully yours. They carry papers, stories, and a plan that has been rehearsed like a theft disguised as routine. You will not be caught unprepared. You are being warned because you are loved and protected, and because your future is not for sale. You will watch a trap snap shut on empty air as you step aside and dismantle it piece by piece. There is a ledger in the shadows with your name on the top line, written without your consent. It says your house can be reassigned, your place can be occupied, your voice can be silenced. It is a false ledger, and tonight it burns in truth. A final payment means a final mistake. The woman believes money is enough to purchase outcomes, signatures, and silence. She does not see that the light placed over your life exposes every counterfeit path laid against you. Listen carefully now and steady your breath. The person who has been paid will try to arrive looking harmless, with a folder instead of a weapon, a smile instead of a mask. Their calm tone is a tool, their politeness a key, their timeline a pressure point meant to make you surrender. When they knock, their plan begins with urgency. They will say that there is no time to think, only time to sign. They will claim that a delay will cost you everything, when in truth a pause will rescue you from their net. You will not meet them alone. Even before they arrive, help is being placed on your steps like lanterns. You are not a target. You are a witness to their exposure and a steward of your own deliverance. There is evidence, and it is already forming a circle around their lies. Receipts exist for the transfer made in cash, the time stamped with precision and the location recorded by a camera that they forgot to notice. Footage sits waiting like a calm river holding the reflection of what they did. A conversation happened in a small room with a crooked blind. Their voices lowered when your name was spoken. They practiced variations of the story until it sounded like a truth even to their own ears. Your house is not a door, it is a covenant. Your livelihood is not a line item, it is a legacy. Your peace is not a soft thing, it is a shield forged in patient faith and stubborn hope. You will move in wisdom. Remove the idea that you must rush to please strangers, and set your feet evenly. The one who is paid to take will take nothing when you stand in calm clarity. Prepare your documents and hold them like anchors. Your identity, your agreements, your proof of ownership and your records of payment, gather them in one place. Keep them ready, not with panic, but with poise. Call what strengthens you into the room. A trusted elder, a friend who knows details, a counselor of law if it is needed. The room is different when you are not alone. Clean the thresholds in your life. Delete the numbers that keep circling you with confusion. Archive the messages that belong to yesterday's storms and set your notifications to quiet truth. The woman calculated that you would be tired. She built her timing around your busy hours and your compassionate nature. She did not account for this warning or for the quiet steel that now rises in your chest. You will see small signs as confirmation. A misplaced document is found in an unexpected folder. A neighbor mentions a car idling too long on your street. An email that once felt like noise suddenly reveals the pattern beneath it. Do not return anger to the sender. Return clarity and boundary. Return the firm knowledge that you are not in their play, and they are not the author of your next chapter. The hired hand carries two stories. The first is the story they want you to accept, written in haste and dressed in official clothing. The second is the story they fear, the one where you request verification and their lines fall apart. Request the source. Ask for the chain of custody for every claim and every page. Require that all communication be written, recorded, and witnessed. Do not step outside your door to negotiate in the wind. Bring this to a table of your choosing, in a place where you can breathe and read. Open windows of time for verification, not windows of vulnerability. The final payment is not final authority. It is only the end of their preparation, and the beginning of your response. Tonight you are being given steps that cannot be purchased or reversed. Secure your thresholds with wisdom. Change the passwords that have roots in guessable dates. Set alerts on your accounts that notify you when anything shifts without your hand upon it. Walk through your rooms with intention. Touch the places where you keep what matters and place a quiet blessing there. This is not superstition, this is stewardship that steadies your heart and sharpens your focus. The woman thinks the world is a stage with no audience. She thinks no one will notice handoffs under tables and whispered rehearsals in parked cars. She forgets that every story has a sky, and the sky sees. The person she hired is accustomed to people collapsing under paperwork. They study posture, not truth. They measure consent by silence and speed. You will not offer silence. You will offer properly paced sentences that require answers. You will offer eyes that do not dart, hands that do not fidget, and a chair that does not scrape. There will be a moment where they try to distract you with kindness. They will compliment your calm to bring it down. They will lean forward and widen their eyes like concern. Hold the center line. Speak slow. Let them hear themselves repeat the weakest part of their claim until it unravels like loose thread in their own fingers. If they shift to threats, recognize the script. Threats are proof of a failing plan. A steady boundary is the right reply. You are authorized to pause. You are authorized to step out and consult, to call a number, to verify a seal. You are authorized to reschedule on your terms. There is a witness you did not know you had. Someone saw the exchange where the final payment was made. They were present by accident and now carry memory like a photograph. That witness will come forward at the right hour. Their words will be plain, their perspective neutral, their timing precise. The lie will feel the weight of simple facts and buckle. For now, breathe. Your breath is not decoration, it is direction. It keeps your mind bright and your decisions sharp. The woman's motive is a tangled rope. It is part envy, part fear, part a long habit of taking shortcuts through other people's gardens. None of it is stronger than light when light is invited in. Light enters when you step away from secrecy. Light enters when you write things down. Light enters when you insist that the process be visible. This is not about vengeance. This is about order. This is about placing every piece back where it belongs and barring the door against repeat performances. Prepare a short record tonight. List the odd messages, the sudden requests, the names that keep recurring. Keep times and dates where you can see them. Your calm preparation creates a shield you can touch. It turns your living room into a lawful place. It turns you from a target into a testimony. There will be a phone call that pretends to be relief. It will present itself as a shortcut to avoid hassle. It will be a hook without bait, expecting your hunger for peace to bite. Let it ring once longer than comfort. Let it go to written follow-up. Patterns prefer speed. Truth prefers clarity. If they arrive at your door unannounced, do not open into their urgency. Speak through the barrier and set an appointment. Take their name, their company, their reference number, and write them down. Send those details to someone you trust. Add them to your record. Watch how names that were scattered begin to line up like a confession. The woman is counting on your kindness to make you easy to move. You will remain kind, but you will also be immovable. This is not cruelty, this is stewardship. Your heart will tremble once as you realize the scale of what was intended. It will then settle, because you are not abandoned. You are being given instructions as steady as stones across a river. Cross by those stones and no water will rise above your ankles. Rush and you will stumble. Drag your feet and you will shiver. Walk at the pace of wisdom and your path will stay dry. There is a point where their plan must show its teeth. Be ready for that reveal. Teeth cannot hide in bright rooms with good witness. Invite that brightness. Choose daytime over night for any meeting. Choose public offices over private corridors. If the plan was to take your home, you will present your title and the line of your payments like a clear horizon. If the plan was to take your name, you will present identification that is layered and confirmed. If the plan was to take your position, you will present performance and contract and the quiet support of those who respect you. Every scheme requires a pressure valve. They will seek yours. They will push at your fatigue, your desire to be done, your hope that a signature will make it disappear. Replace the pressure valve with a compass. Where does this document point? Where does this call lead? Where does this person derive their authority? You will require that every must be proven. You will request the statute, the policy, the page, and the precedent. You will give yourself time to read. The hired hand will feel the floor tilt. It will feel like standing on a boat they did not know was floating. Papers will be straightened twice, then 3 times, and smiles will grow thin. Stay gentle. Stay precise. Stay unhurried. Your allies will surprise you. Someone who once seemed distant will step closer because truth pulled them. An administrator will notice a mismatch in numbers and follow it to the source. There will be a small victory first. A date on a document will prove impossible. A signature will not match historical samples. A seal will be the wrong shade from the authentic mark. Then a larger victory will arrive. A report will surface. A message will be forwarded. What was hidden in a folder named with a bland title will be opened for all to see. The woman will go quiet. The hired hand will request a pause they tried to deny you. The scene will invert with simple grace. Your voice will be measured when you speak. You will use words like verification, record, and due process. The room will hear your steadiness and adjust to it. You will be thanked by someone you did not expect. They will say your insistence helped them realize how far they had drifted from their own standards. Quiet repentance will move across the table like dawn. Do not gloat. Do not rehearse their shame. Spend your energy on securing what is yours. File the necessary protections. Freeze what must be frozen, update what must be updated, and notify what must be notified. Place your records in a safe order. Close the channels that carried rumor. Silence the open gates that invited interference. Keep only the paths that carry mutual respect and lawful clarity. Then rest your hands on the table where you planned, and notice how still it feels now. Notice how your breath is unlabored. Notice how the pressure in your shoulders drains like evening rain sliding off a roof. In days to come, the woman will bend her gaze away from you. She will learn that payments buy speed but not destiny. She will learn that quiet hearts are not easy to move. You will continue, not as a survivor of chaos, but as a keeper of order. You will open your door to faces that come with truth, not urgency. You will host your own life again. If there is cleanup, it will be thorough but not cruel. If there are apologies, they will be accepted but not weaponized. If there are boundaries, they will be clear and consistently honored. You will replant what was threatened. You will tend to the places that shook. You will place a lamp in your window that says, "This house is watched by wisdom." From now on, you recognize the early tremors. You recognize the language of rush and the costumes of counterfeit. You recognize the sound of your own steady voice as a sign that you are protected. Keep the record that kept you. Keep the allies who stood with you. Keep the habits that kept your pace when they tried to make you run. Open your blinds in the morning like a ceremony. Walk your rooms with confidence. Continue building what was always yours to build. And if the thought returns in a small wave at night, remember how the scene changed the moment you chose light over speed. Remember how the door stayed closed until the truth had a seat at the table. Remember how money ran out where authority never began. Tonight, the final payment meant their plan ended. For you, it means your clarity began. That is the turning you were promised. Hold this message like a map. Fold it into your day. Let your steps follow its simple wisdom. No one is coming to take what you guard with truth. No one is coming to erase what you write with patience. No one is coming to occupy what you inhabit with presence. Your name is steady. Your home is steady. Your future is steady. You are not at the mercy of secrecy. You are the steward of transparency. You are the careful keeper of your peace. Walk forward and keep the windows open. Let the house smell like clean paper and warm light. Let the floorboards remember the footsteps of someone who knows exactly where they stand. If a new knock comes, you will answer with the same strength. If a new claim rises, you will measure it against the same standard. If a new scheme whispers, you will raise the same quiet lanterns. And then you will get back to your life. You will put water on for tea. You will call someone who makes you laugh. This is how a storm ends. Not with a final shout, but with an ordinary afternoon you can trust. Not with a grand exit, but with the sound of your door closing softly behind you. What was meant to be taken was preserved. What was meant to frighten you strengthened you. What was meant to rush you taught you to slow the world until it spoke clearly. Now sleep. Tomorrow you will wake to rooms that belong to you and a sky that knows your name. The ledger that tried to claim you will be closed and returned to dust. The woman paid for an outcome, she received a lesson. The hired hand rehearsed a theft, they learned a boundary. You walked a narrow bridge, you found a road. Carry this steadiness into the weeks ahead. Carry this clarity into the small choices that shape big days. Carry this confidence like a quiet anthem of your own making. Archangel Michael says, you are not late, you are not unprotected, and you are not alone. You have the right to read, to verify, to pause, and to choose. You have the right to keep what is yours and to flourish without apology. When you turn out the lights, let the night be only night. Let the house hold you gently. Let the future knock only with invitations, not demands. The final payment ended their part of the story. Your part continues with grace. And grace does not rush. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Archangel Michael says, the night has not ended, it has only shifted its weight, and you are still standing in the clear. Your breath is steady, your hands are sure, and your room is a sanctuary where lies cannot survive. What tried to claim you is already losing shape in the light you have chosen. The road ahead is deliberate and bright. You will keep order like a craftsperson keeps tools, clean and within reach. You will make each next move with a calm that unnerves schemes built on rush. Begin with your circle. Invite only those who honor process and plain truth. A small faithful circle is stronger than a crowd that loves drama. Arrange your records with elegance. Think of each page as a lock that closes on chaos. The keys are names, dates, signatures, and verified paths of authority. You have already felt the relief of a complete file. Extend that strength into everything connected to your name. When each thread is labeled, no one can tangle them into a net. Archangel Michael says, clarity is your guardrail now. Speak only what you can keep in the daylight. Write only what you would be comfortable reading aloud in a quiet, honest room. If a new messenger appears, remember the pattern you have mastered. Welcome only what arrives with identification, provenance, and time to read. Everything else can wait outside like weather you choose not to step into. The woman who financed the attempt is restless tonight. Her certainty was rented, not earned. Payments can buy boldness for a moment, but not legitimacy for a lifetime. There will be echoes of the scheme in small places. A rumor that tries to outpace documentation. A text that pretends to be a notice. A request that pretends to be a requirement. Answer with the rhythm you've learned. Please send this in writing. Who is the authorizing officer? Under which policy does this fall? Calm questions turn counterfeit into dust without you lifting anything heavier than a sentence. You are not hiding, you are hosting the truth. Your table is set for verification, and verification eats lies for breakfast. You can taste how simple this meal is when the ingredients are clean. Your boundaries are doors with handles only on your side. You decide when to open and how wide. You decide who steps in with respect and who remains on the porch of their own urgency. Write a brief chronology from the day the first odd message arrived. 3 lines per event, no poetry, no drama, just the facts. The truth likes short sentences and accurate clocks. Keep a second page for names and roles. Align each name with what they claimed, what they asked, and what you verified. The result will look like a ledger that loves daylight. If fatigue taps your shoulder, give it a chair but not the pen. Fatigue can watch while you finish calmly. You will not make a single decision at the speed of someone else's panic. Archangel Michael says, honor the quiet victories. The mismatched date you spotted. The unverifiable number you refused to call. The meeting you moved to a place with windows and witnesses. Consider the simple safeguards that seemed too small to matter. They were not small, they were precise. Precision is how a bridge holds weight when a crowd tries to cross. You have learned to hear the sound of real authority. It does not shout and it does not threaten. It cites, it references, and it invites verification. When you speak now, you speak like that. Your voice is the same temperature whether someone flatters or someone fumes. The room learns to match your weather. There is a grace to closing loops. Send the follow-up email that summarizes what was said, what was requested, and what will happen next. This turns conversations into records and records into guardians. If a document arrives with a deadline made of thunder, measure it by law, not lightning. Thunder is noise, statutes are structure. Your pulse stays even when the clouds try to perform. The hired hand may attempt one final flourish. They might bring a new binder with tabs and a new smile with edges. But you have already learned to read beyond costume into content. Ask for chain of custody again. Ask for internal reference numbers again. Ask for the path a decision took from proposed to approved. If their story is real, it will stand in daylight and enjoy the walk. If their story is false, it will look at its shoes and ask for shade. Your room has no shade left for that. Do not borrow fear from other people's voices. If someone you care about starts to tremble, you will anchor them with your steadiness. Fear tumbles when it encounters a calm sequence and a clean page. Place your signature only on what you understand. Understanding is not a luxury, it is a requirement. If anyone calls it stubbornness, or that word like a metal that keeps you alive, honor the ground you have reclaimed. Make a small ritual of ordinary life to mark this turn, a window open to morning, a notebook closed with a gentle hand, a cup set down without clatter. Ordinary life is the roof you fought to keep. You are not defined by the attempt made against you. You are defined by the poise you practiced when no one was clapping. That poise is the quiet story your future will keep telling. Archangel Michael says, let mercy be your choice, not your weakness. Mercy does not mean returning to unsafe rooms. Mercy means you do not drink poison while declaring forgiveness. If an apology comes, measure it by action over time. Words are petals, behavior is the branch. A strong branch can hold weight again, a loose one can't. Close accounts that no longer serve your peace. Update lists that grew cluttered during the storm. The sound of pruning is not loss, it is preparation for growth with shape. File your summary of events and label it clearly. One copy in a safe place, one copy with a trusted custodian. Redundancy is not fear, it is wisdom with a backup plan. Your house remembers you chose light over speed. Your desk remembers you kept order when disorder knocked. Your steps remember the weight they did not take on. When your mind replays scenes, let it replay the moment the tide turned. The first clear question. The first impossible date you noticed. The first time you declined to step into a room with no witnesses. These are the uprights of your new gate. They will hold for a long time. They will hold without creaking. If the woman's name crosses your path again, let it pass like weather on a day you already plan to spend indoors. You don't have to comment on clouds you are not walking under. This is the freedom of a person who knows their own forecast. You will begin to notice the precious quiet after a crisis that did not succeed. It is not empty. It is full of possibility arranged in lines you can read without squinting. Give your creativity something to do with the energy the scheme failed to steal. Build a small system that makes your next task easier. Write a simple checklist that turns emergencies into errands. Share your learning without sharing your bitterness. Someone close to you will need the template you created. They will thank you for the calm they borrowed until they had their own. Archangel Michael says, plant a sign at the edge of your life that reads, "Truth only, by appointment." This is not arrogance. This is stewardship of the doorway that bears your name. If a letter arrives requesting access, let your response be a form that requires completeness. Incomplete things can wait in the hallway until they learn their manners. The hallway is patient. You do not need to be. There is a way to live that leaves no foothold for schemes. It is not paranoid. It is orderly. It is not cold. It is exact. Keep receipts for your peace just as you kept receipts for your payments. A walk at a faithful hour. A conversation with a person who doesn't make your shoulders lift. A task finished without alarm. Protect your rest like an asset with long-term yield. Rest is not the absence of threat. Rest is the presence of order. You are learning to invest in what never loses value. If another knock comes, you already have the script that beats scripts. Identification, verification, documentation, witness, and time to read. You can recite it without effort now, like your own address. Look how the hardest part has already happened and passed. Not the attempt, but the decision you made to stand still in truth. That decision is your watershed. Everything after it flows toward clarity. This is how legacy looks when it is guarded with care. It is quiet, resilient, and strangely light. People will feel at ease around you without knowing why. They are walking under a stable roof. You will keep building. And your building will teach more than any speech. A secure door and an honest ledger are sermons without words. They are also invitations for good people to come closer and stay. When the story is told, it will not focus on the woman or the hireling. It will focus on the day an ordinary person chose an extraordinary posture of order. That posture turned a threat into a lesson and a lesson into a way of living. The way of living is simple enough to teach a child and strong enough to withstand a storm. Say it once each morning, move with truth, require daylight, take your time, sign only what you understand. Say it once each night, put the day away clean. Archangel Michael says, your name is not a loose paper on someone else's desk. It is engraved on structures you maintain with patience. It is safe where it belongs. Walk the perimeter of your peace the way a gardener walks a fence. Fix small breaks before they invite larger ones. Admire how the line you tend defines the field you enjoy. Offer thanks for the unglamorous tools that saved you. Calendars, folders, checklists, careful questions. They are the quiet nights of ordinary life. They ask for nothing but consistent use. If you ever wonder whether you've done enough, look at the map you drew while the noise tried to lead you. It has crisp lines and good scale. It is a map other people can follow. Let those who prefer shortcuts take them away from you. You will keep the road that arrives reliably, even if it winds a bit. This is how you avoid cliffs disguised as convenience. Your future does not require revenge to move forward. It requires continuity. Continuity is the most elegant victory. No gloating, no spectacle, just another day of honest work under a clear sky. There is sweetness waiting in the ordinary. A letter addressed correctly. A meal eaten without interruption. A small laugh you didn't have to protect. All of this is yours without anyone's permission. You earned it with posture, not panic. You kept it with wisdom, not war. Archangel Michael says, the chapter of danger is followed by a chapter of design. Design it with your true preferences, not the aftertaste of fear. Choose what suits your nature, and let your nature be unhurried. You will forget the woman's face sooner than you think. You will remember the steps forever. This is the right proportion for a healed memory. When you close this continuation, you may stand up and stretch. That stretch will feel like a prayer. Without words, it will also feel like a plan that fits. Keep this strength where you keep your keys. Reach for it before you reach for the door. Leave each day knowing you locked what matters and opened what makes you alive. This is not a victory lap. It is a steady walk. This is not survival. It is stewardship at full height. This is not a warning anymore. It is wisdom turned into muscle. Archangel Michael says, proceed. The road is yours to continue. The peace is yours to maintain.